Hey guys, DT here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new episode of Clash Royale. In this episode, we're going to take a look at a brand new deck that incorporates Bandit and the Ice Wizard, the two cards that you guys have been asking me to marry together in one deck and basically come up with something solid. So I reached out for help to a great friend of mine, Wicked from Wicked Gaming, and together we tested out this deck multiple times and he swapped his deck a few times just to make sure that this particular deck has a potential to be both a great offensive and a defensive deck, which as you can see for our push there, we're using a Hog Rider. For our push, we're also going to be using the Bandit, and for defense slash push support, we are going to be using the Musketeer and the Ice Wizard, and we have a few spells here and one building. So let's jump in and see how this deck worked out for us. And right off the bat, I'm going to ask you to excuse the fact that in this particular game, I missed with the rocket 2 times. Now, that is a huge mistake. 12 elixirs totally wasted. But hey, it's okay because this deck still helped me to get that victory. And right over here, I don't miss the tower, but I miss the Ice Wizard. So what was I thinking? I don't know. But guys, let's take a look at the actual mechanics of the deck. And basically, you probably have used all of these, cards individually in various decks, so you know exactly, when to deploy them and how to use them. But in this particular deck, I'm kind of using my Poison and Ice Wiz a bit differently. I'm using it mainly for support, and every once in a while when I need to, I will use it for offense. But as you can see, Wicked was coming in with a P.E.K.K.A, which by the way, did you know that when you drop the P.E.K.K.A, she says party time? I totally had no idea and just found out yesterday that apparently P.E.K.K.A says party time right as you drop her onto the battlefield. So right over here, unfortunately, my Hog Rider will not make it to the tower because Wicked's placement of Inferno Tower was so on point. And say we got there to the tower with my Ice Wiz being on the support and slowing down Princess in that tower, we definitely would have gotten quite a few more hits in, because obviously the combo of Freeze and the Hog Rider would have worked out really quite nicely for us. So here we go, P.E.K.K.A is coming again. And guys, this deck is really quite great on Wicked's side, right? You got yourself a P.E.K.K.A, you got yourself a balloon, and you have yourself archers. So once you drop, especially if you go into, during double elixir time, when you have an ability to drop the P.E.K.K.A and then back it up with archers and then drop the balloon, that is really deadly. But my Ice Wizard here and the Poison really does a great job of making sure that we can take care of those archers, and then basically we slow down the movement of the P.E.K.K.A with the Ice Wiz, and we kind of work out a-okay there. Now, of course, we have our Musketeer, who is fantastic on the defense, and look at that. He's got the P.E.K.K.A, he's got the balloon, and he's got the Ice Wiz coming our way. So that is really quite a push to try and stop. Now, I'm going to switch the gears a little bit because we only have a little bit of time left, and I'm going to put my Poison now on his tower to try and use it for offense. Now, my Bandit does not make it to the tower, but she does help out with that Inferno. So Tombstone for the defense here, and he's got his Ice Wiz, which this is where I also wish that I could have my Fireball, but I have the Rocket instead, which I will take because obviously Rocket is fantastic and helps you out in the end when you're really close to winning. It definitely helps you get that long-awaited victory. So I'm gonna try and rotate the Hog Rider as much as I can. I don't have my Poison here, which I wish I did, because then I would have cleared out the skeletons and helped out with the archers, but I didn't have it. Oh, and this is where I miss yet again. And guys, I was so frustrated. I was just kind of kicking and screaming, mainly just screaming at myself because I missed the rocket for the second time. But here we go. We're gonna slow down that balloon and not let it in on the tower. Musketeer is going to help out with the balloon, and we are going to hold off just fine. So 1221 left on HP on Wicked's tower, so we're gonna throw our Poison there. I wish I placed it a second later and then would have helped out with that Inferno Tower, but hey, it is what it is. This is why the game is so awesome. The reaction time, the prediction, there is a lot of opportunity to either benefit from it or make a mistake. And over here, guys, you'll be seeing that the Bandit that I've been using is mainly been used on the defense. Now, obviously, Bandit is fantastic in terms of being an offensive card. Once she gets to the tower, once she darts at it, it is a really, really difficult card to stop, obviously, especially when you're supporting it really well. So here we go with Hog Rider once again, zapping and not gonna make it to the tower again. Wicked's placement on that Inferno Tower is just totally on point, but we're gonna wear him down with the poison and finish him off with the rocket. And while, you know, oftentimes rocket is kept up until the end, I used it a few times here to help out with the balloon and obviously missed a few times, so no big deal because we got ourselves the victory. So aside the fact that I made a few technical mistakes here, I think that if I didn't, obviously we wouldn't have to go into the overtime because I would have finished off with the 1 crown much sooner. But I do think that the deck has a lot of potential, guys. Just based on the cards that are being used together and the combination of them, they work together really, really well. Perfect harmony, perfect combination of it. And here we are, Wicked switches his gears and gets in with a new deck with a Hog Rider. And once again, just using my Ice Whiz and Tombstone, we stop that. We get 1 hit in or 2 hits in. I actually did not count there from Hog Rider, and now we're prepared for the push. So my cards, of course, were not so great in this rotation, mainly spells, so I'm gonna let it ride out and basically make sure that I have a good rotation coming in. So I'm gonna drop my Musketeer first. I really prefer to do that, and then start building basically either in front of her or behind her, depending on the situation. And nice little takedown of that Executioner there. And Wicked's got a super annoying deck here. He's got the Executioner and Fire Spirits, and what could be more annoying than, I'm sorry, he's got the Furnace, but obviously those Fire Spirits running at you are just so annoying. Tombstone for the defense to help out with the Hog Rider. Ice Whiz once again to slow him down. The Fire Spirits will take care of my Musketeer there, and now Poison to help out with the Furnace, and also, of course, clear down the HP on the tower, and whatever else gets in between and walks into the Poison Cloud also gets their HP knocked down. So here we go, Executioner. I'm gonna put a Musketeer in the middle for the defense here to help out with the Executioner. I also could have put the I could have used my Bandit as well, but I decided to save her up for a rainy day. And here we go, we're gonna zap this, but also my Hog Rider is not gonna get any single hits in there. Little cry face here just to, you know, throw some fun in. And we both are using Hog Riders in this deck, but we have different building cards. Mine is a little bit less annoying than Wicked's. Of course, Furnace is just so much more annoying, but it's okay because we can wear it down with the poison and it's all going to be a-okay. Now, placement of the poison is really quite important, so when you are using it, I would just recommend sort of holding off maybe, and once you get to know your opponent and know their placements, then drop it more freely, but otherwise, you know, just missing it by a little bit can really make a huge difference in the game. And here we go, Bandit for defense to help out with that Hog Rider. I'm gonna put a Hog Rider in front of the Bandit and then zap this and try and see whether or not she can make it to the tower. She doesn't. The Tombstone skeletons distract her, and here we go, guys. Another rotation of the Hog Rider, another Musketeer for the defense, and then another push on our end with that poison, and this time poison gets us the victory. So actually, in the first victory, we got the victory with Rocket, which is the spell, and now we get the victory with the poison. So now let's take a look at the final deck here that Wicked tested out. So we wanted to try out the variety of decks to make sure that the deck that I'm using has a good potential, and this one here on Wicked's side is the Golem deck. Now, who here has lost once or twice to an opponent with a Golem? I mean, hello, I feel like everybody has, especially when it's, you know, Golem and Graveyard, or the other day I lost to an opponent with a Golem and 3 Musketeers. Guys, that is such a heavy deck, but let me tell you, once it hit me, I did not know what to do with myself. So here we go. We did a bit of a damage there with the Hog Rider, supported by the poison, and what a perfect placement there of a princess, because she helps out with the Tombstone and then with the skeletons that come out of the Tombstone. So I'm gonna drop my Bandit there to take care of the princess, and And once again, the placement of the furnace is so on point. My bandit is going to be able to, you know, wear it down a bit, but not make it to the tower. And I know that the poison spell there did not quite make it to the furnace, but that's quite okay, because I was sort of thinking that Wicked was going to drop a defense card over on the other side, and so I decided to sacrifice the radius of the poison, and my prediction was incorrect. That does happen every once in a while. We all make mistakes, right guys? Okay, so another golem coming here, and I'm doing a bit better than Wicked here, but he is using the golem deck, and he's got a really great support cards there. So I am thinking here that majority of my time in the moment of the golem dropping should be spent on support. Now he's got his princess, he's got his goblin gang, he's using his minions, so a pretty nasty combination of everything. So here I'm dropping the poison a little preemptively, and it did help out quite a bit with the goblin gang. It got out the spear goblins, or I guess Britney Spears as some of you guys would call them, took care of those. And now we are just going to try and hold off with the combination of my bandit for defense, and then basically we are going to try and wear this down with the poison, and then finish off with the rocket. Now poison here did not hit the tower, but I'm mainly trying to just hold off on the golem, because in the double elixir time, the golem can just be so deadly. You can rotate super quick if you have other cheap cards, and it's a 4-card rotation system. So guys, I'm just trying to hold off here, and there we go, rocket for the win once again, and then trying to hold off on the golem. Wicked came really close here, but the deck has a great potential for being a great defensive deck too. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you were going to go ahead and try out the combination of the Hog Rider, Bandit, Ice Wizard, and a Musketeer. You obviously can make changes in terms of what spells you're using. These are just the spells that I prefer currently. I love me some poison at the moment, and of course rocket is always a solid choice. So let me know in comments below if you were gonna try to test out this deck, and if you did, let me know if it worked out for you or not. If you're gonna make some changes to the deck, let me know what those are in comments below as well, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, DT is out.